power bills, for a number of reasons in the United States, are escalating after years of consumption and bills staying pretty flat. And so you got to have a new playbook so you're just not being eaten up by much higher power bills. I want to talk about that. We as humans have such an ability to adapt to conditions. We are not sitting ducks unless we choose to be. We're in a cycle, partially because of AI and all this demand for data centers, which require huge consumption of energy. We're seeing much, much higher power bills coming down the road. But we're not a sitting duck. I want to give you an example. Where is power the most expensive of the 50 states? Okay, let's think about that. Where would it be most expensive in the U.S.? Hawaii. It's an island market. It's hard to serve. And so power costs are outrageous. So what have people in Hawaii done? In massive numbers, at all levels and prices of housing, people have put in solar arrays. They put in backup batteries to deal with power outages that can come, particularly in an island market. We just saw that in Puerto Rico, where the entire island went dark except for people who had solar with battery backup or businesses that had generators. This is one of those things that as power costs go up, that rethinking the economics of how we reduce our energy bills at our house is so much in order. We've got the big tax credits right now for as long as those remain in place. And solar is something that is not a simple, short decision because it can be expensive to put in solar unless you have a more modest-sized house, and especially if you live in a climate with enormous sunshine like Hawaii or Arizona or Texas or New Mexico. Did I mention Southern California? I mean, solar is just a slam dunk over time putting it in. But if solar is a bridge too far, and remember with solar now, as battery costs have come down so much, it's become like a twofer. You put solar on the roof, or if you're in a position where solar works on the yard, it's a cheaper place to put solar, and batteries in the garage, battery backup. And one of the key things with batteries, even if you're not going to do solar, batteries in states where power costs are going up, 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 and away, batteries can be a big money saver because there are these big batteries that are designed for residential use. And they cost about a third more now per output what putting in a traditional natural gas generator would be at a house. Used to be they were like 20 times the cost, but not that much anymore. What they do is they allow you to play the time of use game where power consumption drops to like nothing for utilities like midnight to 5 a.m. So a lot of utilities almost give power away with time of use meters overnight. So what you do is you store power to those batteries in those overnight hours. It works for the utility, it works for you. And then during the day, when power is a fortune, you power your house from the batteries. And then that night again, you replenish the batteries at the very low rates. I mean, this is the kind of thing you have to think about. Because one side is how do you become your own power company? Solar, batteries, whatever. The other side is the Dullsville thing, but much cheaper. That's making sure with these much higher utility rates that you actually have decent insulation in your home, that you have done the things you can do with automatic thermostats that will reduce your power consumption for heating and cooling by about 20-25%. Those thermostats are cheap. That you do things with weather stripping and deal with the heat exchange and cold that come in under the threshold where you don't have doors properly insulated coming into your home. There are simple things that don't cost a lot, but the quickest payback just about of all is making sure you got proper insulation in your house. So one thing you do, reduce the consumption. The other thing you do is be your own power provider. And it sure is great when you open a bill. And at our home, last month, our power bill, was it $12? Something like that, because we have solar on the roof. And so our bill was as close to zero as you could imagine. It's a great feeling.